A very good morning, students. This is your English teacher Benu Sehrawat and I welcome you all to RKP online classes. Alright, so today we are going to start with a new lesson of English vibes, lesson number 8. Alright, so that is lesson number 8, the Purloined letter. Okay, how do we pronounce it? The Purloined letter. The letter R is actually silent here. The Purloined letter. Alright, and which has been written by Edgar Allan Poe. Alright, now before proceeding with the lesson, I would like to tell you something about the writer. Now, Edgar Allan Poe was an American writer. Alright, so he was an American writer and he was born in 1809 and died in 1849, and of course he died at a very early age. He was only 40 years old when he died. Alright, and if we talk about him as a writer, so he is popularly known for his horror stories and mysteries. Interesting? I know, it's quite fascinating, and let me tell you, even this lesson, it's very interesting and you'll get to know about it. It's quite mysterious, and of course we'll get to know about the lesson very soon now. And the most important and I would say the interesting thing about him is that this lesson, the Purloined letter, it is his third story in which he used the same character. Okay, so third time he used the same character, and who is the detective. And his name is Auguste Dupin. So he was quite popular for his mysteries and horror stories, and of course for the Purloined letter, and prominently the character, the detective Auguste Dupin. Alright, now I would like to ask you something. If you play a trick on somebody, right? Maybe you steal something and you hide it somewhere just to have fun, right? So what will you think at that time when you choose the place to hide that particular thing? I mean, will you think according to your own mind? I mean, you will think about it with the help of your own mind, or you will think it according to the person who is going to search for it. Interesting? Yes, this is the lesson in which we are going to read something mysterious, and of course there is a lot of thrill also in the lesson. So without any further delay, let's find out and let's unwrap the mystery of the Purloined letter. Now beta, if you remember, I always insist and I always suggest you to focus upon the name first, right? The name, because I think, and in 99% cases the whole thing is hidden in the name itself. Alright, so here let's try to find out what is there in the story through its title, right? So the name is the Purloined letter. Now, beta, the meaning of this word purloined means stolen. Alright, something which has been stolen. Okay, so it's an adjective here. Which kind of letter? What kind of letter? Which has been purloined, which has been stolen. Alright. Okay, so we get to know that in the lesson there must be a letter which has been stolen by somebody, and of course we got to know that there is a detective also, right? So it's I can't wait anymore, right? And I just want to read the lesson now without any delay. Alright, so I request all of you to open your books, English Vibe, and open it at page number 92. Okay, and please keep your notebook and a pencil with you so that you can write down the important points or new words that we come across. Alright, okay, now one evening my friend Auguste Dupin and I were sitting in his back library when the prefect of Parisian police burst into the room. Alright, now we get to know about that, there is a narrator, okay, who is telling himself, calling himself as I. Alright, so in the starting scene there are two persons there who were sitting in the back library, and one is the narrator and the other is Auguste Dupin, right? So they were sitting there in the library, and at that moment when they were sitting, somebody came there. Alright, and who was that person? Who was that third person? He was the prefect of the Parisian police. Prefect means head. Alright, prefect. Prefect means head, and you must have you must have heard this word in the class also, right? When we chose the prefects, house prefects, right? So that means the head of a team. Okay, so here he is the head of Parisian police, the police who work in Paris. Alright, so he burst into the room. Now burst into is a phrasal verb, beta. Okay, burst into means to suddenly, when something happens suddenly. Okay, when suddenly somebody enters the room. In this particular situation, what did suddenly happen? The prefect, he suddenly entered the room. Alright, so welcome Monsieur G. Now there are a few French words in the lesson which have been used here. Okay, so you must have this you must have learned this word, right? So it is Monsieur. Monsieur means we use it for Mr. in French. Alright, so Monsieur, this is how we pronounce it, Monsieur. Monsieur G, right? So they are using some kind of code words. Alright, so they call the prefect as Monsieur G. Alright, and then he says, hello friends. Okay, and then after some conversation, Monsieur G, the prefect, told us about a case he was handling. Alright, now of course he was the prefect of Parisian police, so of course he must be handling some cases, related to theft, related to murder, and so on. So he was discussing, he started discussing one of the cases with both of them, right? So a letter has been purloined from a royal parsonage. Okay, so he starts telling them a letter has been purloined from a royal parsonage right from her boudoir. Now this word boudoir, actually it is a French word. Okay, it is a French word. Now you see the word here, purloined. I have already told you something which has been stolen. And the next word is parsonage. Parsonage. It is a house, alright? A house provided to a minister. Alright, so parsonage is a house provided to a minister. The minister, basically a person who is a government official, right? So the house which is allotted to them, which is given to them, that is called parsonage, right? So, and the next word is boudoir. How do we pronounce it? Boudoir. I know it sounds really awkward and it doesn't actually go with the sounds and the letters used in the word, but actually it is a French word. Okay, so we pronounce it as boudoir, and boudoir means bedroom. Okay, a lady's bedroom. Alright, so he gives a mention of a letter which has been stolen by somebody from a parsonage. So we get to know that it was a minister's house from where the letter has been stolen, right? From his bedroom or from the lady's bedroom. Now, the letter had a secret in it about an important person in the government, and it has been purloined by none other than Minister D. Okay, so he tells Monsieur G, he tells that the letter, it was very important and it is very precious, and the reason behind stealing the letter must be that it had an important information about a government official. There was a secret in the letter, right, which made it even more precious, right? And there was something, a secret which was written in that, and that's why it was very important for everybody, and that was the reason it was stolen, right? And they are very sure. I mean, Monsieur G, he already knows that who the thief was, right? It was none other than Minister D. Alright, so here we come up with another character, Minister D. Now, that means the minister wanted that secret information so he could blackmail the person in the government. How? Sinister. Alright, so now the narrator says that of course the reason behind, the motive, actually not reason, the motive behind stealing the letter is that Minister D wants to blackmail that person, right, about whom the information is given in the letter. It's very clear, right? So that is the reason he stole the letter. So, and he says how? Sinister. Do you see this word beta? Sinister. This is how we pronounce it. Sinister. Sinister. So we will not pronounce the R sound which is coming at the end, right? Sinister. And what does it mean actually? Sinister, it means scary or frightening. Okay? Sinister. Sinister, S-I-N-I-S-T-E-R, and we pronounce it as sinister, and it means something very scary or frightening. Okay, so now the lady was being questioned, the lady was being visited by a royal. The minister in question visited the pair at the time. Now the prefect, the head of the police, he is describing the situation when this theft happened. Okay, the whole thing which happened at the time of the theft, right? So he is saying the lady was being visited by a royal. Now if you see here beta, this sentence has been used in is written in passive voice. Okay, so if we write the same sentence in active voice, it will be a royal was visiting the lady. But now here in this sentence, our focus is on the object, so we wrote it in the passive voice. The lady was being visited by a royal. Okay, so when this thing happened, the lady of that house, she was with somebody, she was meeting with somebody. There was a government official at that time and she was talking to him. All right, the minister in question visited the pair at the time. Now the minister in question means the minister, basically minister D. Minister in question means whom they are suspecting. Okay, who is suspicious, right? So he, minister D, visited the pair at that time, right? And he saw the letter. The letter was lying there on the table only at that time. So he saw the letter, gorged the royal lady's discomfort. Now beta, gorge means to make judgment about somebody. Okay, gorge means to make judgment about somebody. All right, so when he went there, Minister D, the lady was meeting with a person at that time. So at that time he saw the letter and he also looked at the lady's face, okay, just to see his to see her reaction, right? And what did he find at that time? Gorge the royal lady's discomfort. Now, how come discomfort? Why was she not comfortable at that time? Because there was something, a secret which was there in the letter, right? And the letter was lying on the table. And let me tell you here, it is not clearly written in the lesson, but it is assumed that the secret, the person about whom the secret was written in the letter was the lady's husband, okay, who was a government official, who was an important person in the government. So there was a secret which was written about him. So of course the lady was quite worried about the whole situation. So alright, so she was meeting with somebody and Minister D came there and the letter was lying on the table at that time. So the lady was not at all comfortable at that time because she was scared. Alright, what if Minister D reads the letter and he gets to know about the secret, right? So that is the reason that she was in discomfort at that time. And Minister D, he was very smart and he noticed that thing, right? So yes, on discomfort, replaced it with an inconsequential, inconsequential means something which is not important, okay, which is not important. So we can rightly say here unimportant. Alright, so you may say, you may use this word like this. If suppose your mother comes across a paper which is lying on the floor near your study table, so she asks you, do you need this paper? I just found it lying on the floor, and you say, no, thank you so much, mama, I don't need it, it's inconsequential. Okay, it's inconsequential. That means I don't need it, it's not important, it's unimportant. Okay, all right. So of his own, and left the room, having purloined the letter in full view of its addressee. Now what did Minister D do there? He just saw the letter, he purloined the letter, he stole the letter, he kept it inside, and he replaced it. Replaced means he took the original letter and kept an inconsequential letter of his own. He also had a letter, so he just put that letter at the place of the original one. Alright, and he just left the room after that. Okay. Now I want to ask you a question here. What do you think? Why didn't the lady stop him there and then? The whole situation could have been controlled very easily at that time. Don't you think so? Right? Let's find out further. Okay. Now next is, please turn the page. We are on page number 94 now. Okay. So he went on. Who is he here? The prefect. Okay. So he went on. Go on means to continue with the same thing. Okay. So he went on talking about the same incident. Now, the lady could not protest, as the other royal from whom she wished to conceal the letter was also present there. Of course, now we get the answer of the question that I just asked you, right? So, the lady could not protest. Could not protest means to object on something, or to show disapproval, that no, I don't like this, please stop it, I don't agree with it, right? So protest means to object. We protest when we don't like something. Okay, we don't like something. All right, so we can use this word like suppose there is a student, okay, in the class who bullies the new students. Bully means when somebody comes and you irritate him, okay, and you think that you are superior, and you tease him, and you make the whole thing uncomfortable, the whole place uncomfortable for the new kids. So he is that kind of student. So we can say all the other students protested against the student who was bullying. Okay, so protest means to object, to show your disapproval, right? Like, I don't like this, so I protest against it. I don't like it, I protest against it. Okay, so the lady could not protest. So this is the reason why the lady did not stop the minister at that particular time when he was doing that, right? This was the reason that there was somebody from whom she wanted to hide this secret about the letter, right? And who was that person? The person who was talking to her at that time. I told you there was a government official, a royal, who came there to meet her at that time. That person was also there, right? So if she if she had protested and if she had stopped Minister D at that time, right? So that third person would have also come to know about the secret written in the letter. So that was the reason the lady kept quiet. Okay, so not only have I searched every inch, every cavity in the minister's household, I have also had him search twice on the road to see if he has hidden the letter on his person. Now, Monsieur G, the prefect, he is perplexed. He is all confused. Why? Because whatever he could do, he had done that, right? So now there was nothing left to be done. So that's why he's saying here that, you know, I have searched every inch and every cavity. Now beta, cavity means space. Okay, so he is saying I have searched every inch and every corner and every space in Minister D's apartment. Okay, so he has done all that, whatever he could do, and twice he has searched him when he was in the street. Why? Because if you see here, if he has hidden the letter on his person, beta, here on his person means on his body. On his person means on his body, right? So in this suspicion that he might have hidden it somewhere on his body also, he had also searched him twice like that also. But all to no avail. All to no avail means nothing got available even after that. Okay, basically he did not get anything out of that. Even after that, he was absolutely clueless and they did not get anything from him, right? So my dear friend Dupin, I ask for your advice on the matter. Alright, so now this is the reason why Monsieur G came there to meet the person, right? So here we come to know about the okay, I have erased that, the detective. I have already told you Auguste Dupin is a detective, and whenever this Monsieur G, he whenever he used to whenever he used to get stuck in a matter, okay, which he is not able to solve, he always comes to take help of Dupin. And now this was also one of those kinds, this case, right? He was absolutely clueless about that, and he didn't know what to do about it and how to proceed further. So he asked for Dupin's advice. So so far he has described the whole situation, the whole case in front of him, and now he seeks for his advice. And if you notice here, beta, the word advice, right? Now you might have seen this word like this also, advice, right? And here it is advice. Now Now what is the difference between the two? Right? Let me tell you. Advice, when it has a C in it, it is a noun. Which kind of noun? Abstract noun. Abstract noun. Okay? Advice. This is an abstract noun. And wherever we find S in it, advice, it is a verb. Advise. You know, we advise somebody. We advise somebody. Like I advise all of you to read good books. Okay? So I'm advising you. I advise you to do something. But here, if we use this sentence to convey the same idea, I would say my advice to you is, okay, my advice to you is to go through good books to improve your reading skill. Understood? Alright, so I hope the lesson is clear till here. Alright, and in the next video we will continue with the same lesson. Thank you so much.